So today we have to fix all the stuff we broke on the Z. Two of the things we broke just by being an idiot and delaminating tires, letting them explode. Probably shouldn't do that, but it's fun. So we did it because we were like fully sending it at PBIR. We also have an issue where the throttle kept like towards the end of the event, it would just go into like a limp mode where the throttle worked, but like it barely did anything. You could barely get the car to like 40 miles an hour. Like you could floor it and it would just be like, Mrr. So I got another throttle buddy just in case. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it on, do an idle relearn just because I don't want to get to the event and then start having that issue because there is an event this weekend, which is why we are last minute doing all this stuff as we always do. So. What we have is a brake line. This is actually a clutch, braided clutch conversion line. Adam gave me this because I needed to replace one of my hydro lines that I broke. And then we have an axle because I destroyed the CV boot on my axle. So that, among other exciting, fun car things, are what we're going to do today. Oh yeah, look at all that axle grease everywhere. There's still strands of tire. Here is the hydro line that is destroyed, and then you can see this beautiful axle boot that also got destroyed. Kind of want to get rid of this too. This came loose the first day. Oh man, the sun is just terrible right now for filming. Oh, I just got grease all over my mic. I'm a mess. It's a 90 and it came loose the first day at PBIR, and then it came loose again. But that could be due to this thing getting mangled. I don't know. Just keep destroying the cleanliness of the underneath of this car with fluids. So I guess we'll pop the axle out first because that's probably going to be the most annoying thing. And then we'll swap over the line. So we just got to get this cotter pin out. That's like already broken in half, but it should be good enough. Easy peasy. I think this is a 32. Might be a 30. Nope, it's a 32. What do we have this thing set on? 4 should come right off. As I said, this is the big boy. Figured I'd put it to work since I never really need to use it. Oh, tight, it's not seized in there. Sometimes they'll get stuck in here, just like from excessive heat and things like that, and that you'll have to like hammer the crap out of them to get them out. So now we just need to go underneath, undo the bolts at the diff, and then we should be able to just pull this out, pop the other one in. All right, so the axle's like stuck in the flange, so we're gonna tappy tap it, as AV would say. There we go. There we go. Axle out. Before you start installing new parts, it's good to compare. Like, interestingly, this axle shaft diameter is much smaller. So is this boot. This is a different diameter. I don't think this is gonna work. Yes, I could measure this and find out if they're the wrong size, but I just wanna try it. It's not seeming to work, so we're gonna have to try it. Or to measure it, I mean. We did try it. You can see the leftover tire strands in this axle. Technically, we could just replace the boot on this, but I just don't feel like dealing with it. I think I might, because I have those axles over there that are for the LS Miata swap for the T-Bird diffs to, you understand. So I have to swap the actual shafts on those. So maybe once I'm an expert in the field, I'll go ahead and swap this boot over and have this as a spare axle. I keep forgetting I have one of these now. Oh, this is so much better. So since I can't do the axle right now, gonna go ahead and do this. We'll just do the axle. Ah, man, these are different sizes. We'll do the axle like tomorrow or something. I'll have to go get a different one. But we're gonna go ahead and change the hydro line so that when my girlfriend comes over, we can bleed the brakes. So I'm gonna need somebody to help me bleed the hydro and try to wrap some of this other stuff up. There's nothing worse than having to go in and out from under the car 100 times because you keep grabbing the wrong size wrench because it's some oddball size. Like for me, when anything's standard, I'm like, I'm lost, you know? Like I don't have that much standard stuff. I do, I just don't even have it in my main toolbox. I just rarely use it. But Ipex Cobras saves the day again. Hashtag not sponsored, hashtag but they're amazing. Look at that sick line. So this one has a 90 on it, but it should still work out just fine. I don't really see it being a problem with routing. I just need to figure out, let's see, it's gonna go like that. It's kind of hard to know where I want to route it without the axle here, because that's like kind of the main problem usually, is it wants to run into the axle. So we can go up here, back over here. Ow, I keep stabbing myself with this line. I think we'll run it like that. So what size is that? 13? Of course not. It's not gonna be an 11 either, it's gonna be a 12 that I put up already. Yes, it absolutely is. I gotta say, sometimes I'm like so over working on cars. And I'm just like, oh, it sucks. Like I wish I didn't have to do this right now. This isn't fun. But then I get like a break, which is what's happened recently. I haven't had to work on anything for like, I don't know, a solid week and a half. And I feel like I was gonna go insane. Like just not having anything to wrench on. It just makes me feel, oh God, all the, I can't get away from it. Okay, well, brake fluid everywhere. Not like there's not gonna be brake fluid everywhere later anyway. Anyway, much cleaner look with this line than the other braided line, which also almost got toasted. Got some tighter strands wrapped up over here. Oh man. Okay, we got the line for the hydro done. We still need to, oh it's so bright. We still need to bleed the brakes, but like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and change this throttle body. I almost don't want to because this one looks mint. But we'll change it and just see if the issue comes back, and then it'll isolate it to or from the throttle body. Okay, goodbye. Intake manifold super clean on the inside. It's a good sign. So look at how clean this throttle body is. We're putting on a dirty one. Definitely one of those that could be very easy to over tighten, so that's why we're not gonna go full tilt with the old electric ratchet on these. Alright, so I decided while I have all of this apart, we're gonna go ahead and put a cap on this part, which is the intake side of things. So there's a hose going from the passenger valve cover into the intake. So it's essentially sucking up any blow-by, which we know that these engines create a lot of blow-by, hence why all this stuff is so oily. So we're going to cap it again, which is what I did the first time. But the problem was the first time I hit myself with the spring clamp. The first time I did it, I just capped both off, so the passenger valve cover couldn't vent, and that was not allowing enough pressure to get out. This time, we're gonna route that to the catch can. So we're gonna take this hose, go from the passenger side valve cover. Oh, this is way easier to get to without the intake on. So from here, basically, over to the catch can, and that'll allow the passenger valve cover to get caught in the catch can, and then the driver's side as well. If you ever have to change this hose, take the intake off. It's way easier. Yeah, let's hope this hose is long enough. This is actually my spare heater hose for the truck. I think it's gonna be just barely long enough. Oh, just barely. Barely. Before I change it, let me show you guys how it's set up. So you got the out, which goes to an intake port there, vacuum source. Then you've got the in, which is going to be coming from the PCV, but it's pretty kinked. And then this is just capped off. So now we're going to run in, and then out. So hopefully all the blow-by coming out of the valve covers will get caught in the catch can, and we'll just have a vacuum source to help that process along of getting that all out of the valve covers, essentially, but without just sucking it all into the engine. So the last thing we can do today is bleed the brakes. I'll throw the axle back in tomorrow when I'm done. It's just reverse process of what we did to put it in. I definitely want to get ARP wheel studs. Does anybody else have experience breaking these? I broke 2 at that last event, just taking the wheels on and off, and they were not cross-threaded. So I'm curious, is that like a common problem with these? Miata update, real quick. Next video will be fuel system. I've got all the fuel system stuff finally, so we can, you know, put the fuel system together, have that ready. And also should be getting back from Cage soon. I think like within a week or so is what Chris said. He said he might be able to tow it up here for me. So that's pretty exciting. Hopefully that happens. But Chris has given me a hookup on the Cage. He had a bunch of work come in for like the 2 weeks prior to the PBIR event, because he works in that area and a bunch of people wanted to drive. So like, it's not his fault at all. He had like other good paying work that pays the bills. So I'm not gonna hassle him over a homie hookup kind of deal. Like, that's one of those things where you just know that like you're not necessarily a priority if you're getting a hookup. Like, that's just the way it is. That's just the way the world works. So not a big deal. It's been a nice break, but I am ready to get back to wrenching on that thing. So that being said, I don't know, stick around. Either we're gonna bleed the brakes or play the sim, or both, or none. So next clip you'll find out. All right, my girlfriend came over last night and we got the hydro bled. Seems to be pretty much where it was. The passenger side hydro caliper, the bleeder's broken off of it, so I can't get all the air out of the system, so I'm just gonna hope that that solves, you know, that was enough bleeding for them to lock up good. I've got my axle here, so I'm gonna throw that in real quick. All right, new axle is in. It's actually super easy process, not hard at all. As these are going in, I put grease on the spline so they just fell right in, and then you just have to kind of like pull the joint to get the top part in, because there's this cup basically, so that slides into the stub part of the axle. So you just kind of compress this joint and they pop right out. What was I gonna tell you guys? We're gonna put these wheels on. These are my Koenigs. They're 10.5 plus something aggressive, I don't remember. 12 maybe? I think it's 12. So we are gonna mount these backwards. Apparently the ATR Sport 2s do better backwards. These are my next tire comparison that I'm gonna do. Not these, because I don't have anything to compare them to in this size, but just these ATR Sport 2s. They're really affordable in a lot of sizes. Like, there's several sizes like 275 where they're the cheapest tire I can find. Obviously, I'm sure there are cheaper tires on other places, but as far as like eBay and the websites I use, like I can't really find anything cheaper that's like a similar, you know, like sport slash summer tire. The only issue I've had is I've had them chunk before in the past. So apparently if you run them backwards, they like cool better or something. I don't chunk as much. We'll see. We'll put the theory to the test, but we're giving them a shot. The only problem is these are very big wheels, very wide, and like, I mean, it's crazy. It's almost even stretched with a 275. I just don't know if it's gonna poke out past the fenders and we're gonna have crazy rub issues. Oh, and that's not even rolled that much. Might hammer that a little bit before we move on. But I also mounted a pair on these, which are like 9.5, 20. So worst case, we can just run these at the event. I should only go through one set this event. But I wanted to try them on these wheels, see where we're at. But I didn't want to screw myself if they didn't fit and have to go remount them. So anyway, I'm gonna put them on, see what it looks like. Another thing I forgot was that this is a 275/40, so it's a larger overall diameter tire, which is cool. Like, I like meaty tires, but with this car re-geared, I'm in third instead of second, and with tall tires like this, it struggles in third on the skid pad. It's great with like 265/35s, but with this taller sidewall, a much larger overall tire diameter, it kind of puts the gearing to be a little bit too tall in third. But I mean, it's manageable. I've done it before. But I really think we're probably gonna have some rubbing issues. We're gonna put it on the ground and try it out just to kind of know where the limitations are with these wheels. I'm thinking a 265/35 is really gonna be what'll fit, but we won't know until we really try it out. So I hammered in the lip here. That seemed to, well, I don't know if it helped, but I'm sure it will help. I also finally put my center caps on. They look much nicer. I don't know why I didn't do that in the first place. Oh, that's right, because I'm lazy. I think we might actually be good. It looks like this will tuck right up in here. It might rub a little bit, but it's gonna be a pretty minimal amount. So that's exciting. It means like 265 will clear easy. Check the alignment. We've got like an 1/8 inch toe in, which I'm good with that because I feel like I'm gonna have to mess with it anyway because I put a lot of positive camber in this side the last event at PBIR because it's mostly right-hand turns, and I'm banking on them staying with the same layout at OSW, which is also mostly right-hand turns because the car rolls over and so do the wheels. So we shall see how it is after we get some driving and we'll check the tires. She's ready. She's ready. Got a spare tie rod. We are good to go for the event, but I might be selling the truck tomorrow. So if I do, like, I'll probably have to rent a U-Haul truck or something to take my car to the track, but we'll see what happens. I don't know that it's gonna sell. I never bank on that stuff until it happens, but I do have a plan with selling the truck and raffling the vet and stuff and what I want to do, which I will explain later once we kind of get a little further along with everything. But that's going to be it for today's video. Next video will be the drift event, I think. Yeah, it would have to be. So I'll see you guys then. If it ends up being a good one, I'll post something on Instagram so you guys can see. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys next time. I already said that. Goodbye. See ya.